13 acres of solid rock, 2.3 million individual blocks of limestone and granite. Before anyone looked for meaning inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, they had to confront the raw, physical reality of its construction. When Sir Flinders Petrie arrived at Giza in 1880, he brought a scientist's determination to replace centuries of speculation with hard, undeniable data. Armed with a steel tape and a theodolite, Petrie hunted for millimeters. He prioritized physical dimensions over the hidden codes and mysteries popular in the 19th century. What he documented over 2 seasons of fieldwork challenged the capabilities of modern engineering. He proved the ancient builders operated with a level of mathematical exactness that is difficult to replicate even with today's laser technology. The exterior casing joints were perfectly flush to an average of 1/50th of an inch. That massive 13-acre base was leveled to within 2.1 centimeters from corner to corner. The true shock came when Petrie moved his instruments inside the structure, tracking the vertical elevation deep into the stone, specifically targeting the floor of the upper chamber. He measured the distance from the base level to that floor. The result was exactly 138 feet. Petrie found the tolerances for this specific dimension to be extraordinary. It was a precise, intentional choice by the architects. However, spatial measurements alone offer no context for this selection. A tape measure can confirm the number, but it cannot explain why the builders favored 138 over any other value. Petrie gave the pyramid a perfectly documented body, but without a specific framework to translate these numbers, his data remained a silent physical artifact. In 2017, researcher Jason Breshears approached history from a different direction, treating 9,000 years of recorded human events as a single giant dataset. His primary sources began in the sky, compiling records of meteorological and astronomical anomalies, like eclipses. He then expanded this archive to track events on the ground: sudden planetary catastrophes, massive regional floods, and abrupt dynastic collapses. As Breshears mapped these catastrophes across millennia, he noticed they were not random. By calculating the exact spacing between these global resets, he found that the dates clustered around a recurring mathematical constant. This timeline charts the frequency of those events. Whether looking at the fall of an empire or a major solar reset, the interval between these Phoenix events remained a consistent 138 years. Where Petrie meticulously mapped physical space, Breshears mapped the architecture of time. 2 completely isolated investigations. One measured physical distance, the other measured temporal duration. When we bring them together, the 138-foot physical elevation documented in 1880 locks into the 138-year historical cycle in 2017. The numbers validate one another. The 138 and its reverse, 831, appear as mirroring constants in both the physical stone and the chronological record. This relationship extends to the construction of the Grand Gallery itself. The walls of this corridor are built with 19 distinct courses of stepped masonry. These courses mirror the 19 sacred frequencies Breshears identified within the historical dataset. The correlations are constant. Every spatial measurement Petrie recorded with his theodolite connects directly to a temporal marker Breshears found in the archives. Breshears' chronological timeline provides the mathematical context required to read Petrie's physical blueprint. The stone and the timeline are part of a single unified system. We can no longer view the Great Pyramid as a static tomb. The convergence of all this data suggests the structure was designed to function as a stone-encoded chronological instrument. The ancient builders translated the abstract dimension of time into the physical dimension of space, creating a permanent warning system for future civilizations. This design implies that the builders understood the nature of discovery. They knew no single generation would possess both the technology to measure the stone and the historical data to understand the timeline. The structure required sequential witnesses. Petrie established the physical data beyond dispute in the 19th century, allowing Breshears to decode its meaning in the 21st. The pyramid was designed to survive millennia, waiting for a moment when measurement and history finally advanced enough to meet. At the intersection of Petrie's feet and Breshears' years, we can finally hear what the past is saying.